Yes, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defendant Nicholas Bukovich on behalf of Mr. Shelley. And it looks like Mr. Shelley is currently on mute at the jail.
Okay, Mr. Shelley, can you state your name?
Frank Shell.
Okay, thank you. So today is the date and time set for an arraignment in this matter. And what I am seeing, it looks like you had it's a home confinement tether. And I've got a conditional release violation. I've got a police report here dated December 19th. Attorney Bukovich, do you have a chance to review that?
Yes, I did review the bond violation report that came in through the tether agent this morning with my client. And then speak about the alleged allegation.
Okay. So just so that I'm looking at this correctly, it looks like the address that was provided for the home confinement is an address that your client doesn't live at anymore.
Yes, from my understanding, to speaking to my client this morning, it was an address where he believed he had friends that he knows people there. He believes he could have resided there. However, for whatever reason why he's unable to reside there right now, and I was going to address that when addressing my bond argument.
Okay. You may address bond.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, Your Honor, I do maybe standing mute as to the allegations. I know today is not the time nor place to really discuss the allegations of the bond violation. However, I do want to note that in the report, it does indicate that my client was going to the address that he believed he could go to. There was the issue with whatever reason why he could not stay there. The one thing I want to highlight and stress is that he followed the court's orders, got in contact with JSC, and was compliant with police officers the whole time, ensuring that he was doing what the court asked of him. So I want to stress that my client is working to follow court's orders. Whatever misunderstanding happened here with the location should not fault my client for doing what he was supposed to be doing, going from the location to where he was supposed to go. He did provide me a good mailing address. He did provide me the good phone number of his boss. He does have part-time gainful employment. He does indicate to me that he does primarily live in a trailer on a lot. He just moved to trailer there, so he did not have the address for me this morning. However, he does have some form of residence. He will be residing locally in Ypsilanti. So at this time, Your Honor, based upon my client's attempt to comply with that order and his inability to stay at that 1670 address, I was going to be requesting a person of reconnaissance bond. Even though this is labeled as a red bond violation, it's clear that my client was taking all steps possible to do what the court asked of him. So I believe this would be warranting of a GPS tether because it could alleviate any concerns the court has about tracking in my client's location and community safety for the alleged complaining witness in this matter, and allowing my client to return to his trailer and be able to handle this case from out of custody. Because I do believe he does deserve a second chance, particularly because he was doing what he could do to comply with the court order. And I do know that there is an ex-jail, a bond denied for that felony matter. There is a note in there that says he's not being held on that case. So I do not understand why it says bond denied, but there is a note in ex-jail if you click into the case that says he's not being held on that either. Yeah, it's a very weird thing, Your Honor. I just wanted to point that out.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, I'll just reiterate my request for a person of reconnaissance bond with a GPS tether instead, because I believe my client is warranted of that second chance based upon his attempts to comply with that order.
I would note that this would be chance number 3, as there was a bond violation back in July regarding not reporting for testing.
Yes, I understand that, Anna. I was the APD that also addressed that one.
Your Honor, I have to be in court tomorrow. I will go to community corrections as soon as I get out of here. I'll do everything you want me to do. I was trying to.
Okay. So regarding, well, I guess a couple things. One is you've been ordered to go to testing. Are you able to do that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Because it's $12 to test
right.
with a photo ID. Okay.
Yeah, he is currently doing odd jobs, so he does have employment to help pay for testing.
Okay. And then the GPS tether being for home confinement purposes, we do need an address for that. So this Center Street address, Attorney Bukovich?
My client indicated me that was an address for mailing purposes.
Okay. But if we're going to be releasing Mr. Shelley on a home confinement GPS tether, then we need an address that works for the home confinement.
I understand. That's why I was asking for it to be converted to a GPS tether, Your Honor.
Okay.
Because he's currently staying in a trailer on a lot without a designated address. It's next to someone's property, so, but he doesn't have a call the address. He just moved his trailer there recently. So that's why I was requesting the GPS tether. Particularly because there was the attempt to go and comply with that court order, and he was in contact with the tracking services with no issues.
I have a phone that they gave me, but I don't know the phone number because I just had it for a few hours. It's in my property though. I can't give you that number. Ma'am, I will go to everything you tell me to go to and do everything you tell me to do. I'd like to just get this cleared up and be done with it. These things are like a year and a half old.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. I am going to point out that you were ordered to go to testing back in July and didn't report for testing according to community corrections. So that was when a bench warrant issued for you in August. It looks like the judge arraigned you on that on December 15th and put you on the home confinement tether, and we can see what happened with that. So if I give you one more chance here, that's gonna be the last one most likely, unless the judge.
Yes, ma'am, I do understand that.
Okay.
And we did have a conversation about that this morning, Your Honor, as well.
All right.
Your Honor, I'd just like to get this stuff over and done with and.
I can appreciate that, but part of moving things along timely is doing the things the court's telling you to do.
I understand. Yes, I do.
So, okay.
While we're waiting for Magistrate Braley to finish signing a bunch of things, thank you to Barbara for donating $5 on the website. Very much appreciate that.
2026 at 9 a.m. We'll convert the tether to a GPS tether for tracking purposes. Your testing is continued as it was previously ordered. It looks like the judge wants you going to community corrections for testing 3 times per month, and it's to be ETG and substance testing. So, any questions as far as that goes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And then I'm not sure if this was brought up before, but I am showing a very old no proof of insurance ticket for you. Did we talk about that previously?
I don't recall off the top of my head, Your Honor, if we did or not. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So I'll just make sure that, yeah, well, here first, 05W165101C. It looks like you have a $45 balance. That would be the clearance fee on that. I'm going to set that for the same date and time so that they can be dealt with together. Okay, January 5th, 9 a.m.
So that's a $25 clearance fee I have to pay?
45.
45?
Okay. All right, Attorney Bukovich, anything else or any clarification needed on anything?
I don't mean there's any clarification needed on my end, Your Honor. And if it's for my client's reference, remember tomorrow your court date is at the 14A1 District Court, not at the 14B Court that we're talking about right now. Okay, sir?
So do I get to go home today or?
Well, so I'm
Oh, sorry.
granting a personal recognizance bond in this matter. So it's going to be a $20,000 personal recognizance bond. So if you don't show up or if there's another bond violation between now and January 5th, then your bond's going to be at minimum $20,000. All right. But that means this case won't hold you at least.
It's the only case I have.
Okay, then there you go. All right. If you don't have any questions, you're free to go to the door. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please do let us know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you'd like to support what we do here, the best way to do it is to pick up some of our merch. You can find it at courtroomfiles.com.